Is the Western world overlooking the real global power shift? Dive deep into the rise of BRICS Plus. In this eye-opening video, we explore the mind-blowing scale and influence of the BRICS Plus bloc compared to the British Empire at its peak. The BRICS Plus coalition, a mega union that includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and alliances across Africa, Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia, now covers nearly 3.5 times the landmass of the former British Empire. This powerful alliance is redefining global power, creating an unparalleled sphere of influence that the West seems determined to ignore. What does BRICS Plus mean for the future of global power? Total landmass and influence of the BRICS Plus sphere. Existing BRICS nations in 2024 cover 39.76 million square kilometers. Additional regions in the BRICS Plus sphere include Africa with 30.37 million square kilometers, South America with 17.84 million square kilometers, Central America, including the Caribbean, with 0.54 million square kilometers, and the Middle East with approximately 7.2 million square kilometers. Asia, excluding current BRICS members, adds another 27.37 million square kilometers. Serbia and Belarus contribute 0.088 million and 0.208 million square kilometers, respectively. Adding these, we get a total BRICS Plus Union landmass of approximately 123.37 million square kilometers. Now let's compare this to the British Empire at its peak in 1920. The British Empire had a total landmass of approximately 35.5 million square kilometers, which was about 24% of the Earth's land area. Its geographic spread spanned continents with colonies in Africa, Asia, North America, the Caribbean, Oceania, and the Middle East, earning it the title, the empire on which the sun never sets. In summary, the BRICS bloc in 2024 occupies nearly 3.5 times the area of the British Empire at its peak. This gigantic 123.37 million square kilometers, compared to the historical British Empire's 35.5 million square kilometers, highlights some interesting contrasts in both size and geographic reach. The power of BRICS, a multipolar union. Unlike the British Empire, which was driven by colonial expansion and domination, BRICS represents a multipolar, non-colonial alliance grounded in mutual benefit. BRICS unites countries across multiple continents with the shared goal of economic cooperation, sustainable development, and collective growth. This approach starkly contrasts with the Western colonial model, which was characterized by exploitation and subjugation. The BRICS nations have historically championed the cause of developing economies, offering an alternative to Western hegemony. In doing so, they are creating a world order where multiple centers of power coexist, reducing the monopolistic influence of Western institutions like NATO and the European Union. The BRICS Plus coalition does not seek to dictate terms or impose values on others, but rather to foster a balanced system of cooperation. This growing coalition includes diverse cultures, economies, and political systems, forming an entity that reflects a much larger portion of humanity's collective interests. Where the British Empire once imposed its will through colonial rule, the BRICS bloc builds its influence on collaboration. Key groups within this sphere, such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Belt and Road Initiative, the Non-Aligned Movement, and the African Union, further demonstrate this spirit of partnership. These organizations and alliances serve as building blocks for a more inclusive global governance structure, one that gives voice to previously marginalized nations and regions. Strategic and resource wealth. BRICS Plus versus the West. The strategic advantage of the BRICS Plus sphere is underscored by its vast reserves of natural resources, which surpass those available to Western nations. The original BRICS nations alone hold substantial oil, gas, minerals, and agricultural land. Russia and Brazil, for example, are major energy producers with significant reserves of oil, natural gas, and minerals. China and India contribute both raw materials and the world's largest labor forces, making BRICS a global manufacturing and technology powerhouse. Moreover, the addition of African, Latin American, and Middle Eastern territories within the BRICS Plus framework amplifies access to critical resources such as lithium, rare earth minerals, uranium, and agricultural commodities. Africa, often called the resource continent, has significant untapped mineral wealth. South America is a key player in agricultural production, particularly soybeans and corn, while the Middle East is synonymous with oil wealth. The combined resource wealth of the BRICS Plus bloc therefore gives it unparalleled leverage in global markets. This vast reservoir of resources allows BRICS Plus to pursue economic policies that reduce dependence on Western financial systems, like the dollar-dominated trade networks. By developing trade networks that operate outside of Western-dominated systems, BRICS Plus is laying the groundwork for a resilient and self-sustaining economy, less vulnerable to Western sanctions or economic pressures. BRICS Plus and the decline of Western influence. The Western Bloc, led by the United States, the European Union, and other NATO allies, has been the dominant global power since the end of World War II. However, recent events highlight the gradual erosion of this dominance. Western nations now struggle with issues like economic stagnation, political division, and a loss of influence in the face of rising non-Western powers. The BRICS Plus alliance is a visible sign of this shift, marking the end of Western monopolistic control over global affairs. Western institutions such as the IMF, World Bank, and even the United Nations have traditionally been mechanisms of Western influence, often dictating terms to developing nations under the guise of aid and development. However, with the rise of BRICS Plus and its associated organizations, developing countries now have alternatives that do not come with the same strings attached. The BRICS Bank, formerly known as the New Development Bank, provides loans and financial assistance on fairer terms, supporting infrastructure and development projects without imposing the harsh conditions typically associated with Western aid. In the face of this growing BRICS Plus presence, Western attempts to champion democracy and human rights have increasingly come across as hypocritical and self-serving. Western powers continue to intervene in sovereign nations, impose sanctions, and manipulate narratives to serve their interests. By contrast, BRICS Plus embodies a model of non-interference, mutual respect, and inclusive growth, which resonates with many countries that have grown weary of Western paternalism. The BRICS Plus sphere, a unified vision for the future. While the British Empire and Western powers have historically pursued agendas of dominance, BRICS Plus is pioneering a model of balanced, multipolar governance. This bloc's commitment to peace, economic cooperation, and cultural exchange sets it apart from the colonial legacy of the West. Rather than seeking to impose its values or culture on others, BRICS Plus values each member's sovereignty, respecting the unique characteristics of each participating country. The BRICS Plus sphere is made up of countries representing Asia, Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East, as well as significant parts of Eastern Europe. Organizations like the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the African Union, the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, and the Pan-American Union all contribute to a dynamic and multifaceted bloc. This diversity is a key strength, allowing BRICS Plus to draw from a wide range of experiences, resources, and talents to address global challenges in an innovative and inclusive way. The expansion of BRICS to BRICS Plus also signifies a commitment to continuous growth and adaptation. As new countries show interest in joining or collaborating with BRICS Plus, this bloc has the potential to create an entirely new world order. The West, clinging to its past notions of dominance, underestimates the transformative power of this coalition, whose influence is not just in numbers, but in the principles of equality, respect, and unity it promotes. Conclusion: the dawn of a new era. The comparison between the British Empire at its height and the present-day BRICS Plus bloc offers a stark reminder of the shifting tides of global power. While the British Empire represented an era of Western colonialism and dominance, BRICS Plus symbolizes a world order based on multipolarity and mutual growth. The West, which once dominated through its colonial empires, now faces a reality where its influence is being overshadowed by a diverse coalition that respects sovereignty and promotes shared prosperity. BRICS Plus is not only vastly larger in landmass and resources than the British Empire ever was, but is also fundamentally different in its approach to global relations. Rather than imposing its will through military force or economic coercion, BRICS Plus is building a world where collaboration and respect for diversity are paramount. For the West, this is indeed a wake-up call. The era of Western dominance is waning, replaced by a global community where nations from the East and global South can lead with autonomy and confidence.